On December 25th, 1991, an astronaut is floating high above the Earth inside of a space station. What he doesn't yet know is that in a few hours he won't have a home country on the ground to return back to. His homeland will disappear and there is no one able to organize his return. He will truly become stranded in space. Sergei Krikalev was born in the Soviet Union in the 1900s. After his university graduation, he joined the largest Soviet spacecraft organization responsible for the country's spaceflight activities. There, Krikalev tested spaceflight equipment and participated in ground control operations. By his late 20s, he was already a respected engineer and a member of the Soviet aerobatics team. Because of this, he eventually got selected to be a Soviet cosmonaut in 1985, and he completed his training the following year. At this point in time, long before the International Space Station was constructed, the Soviet Union had their own space station called the Mir. The Mir had only 2 docking ports, one of which usually only docked with resupply vessels that could not carry astronauts. This meant that for the majority of the time, there was only a single spacecraft docked to the Mir station that was capable of carrying astronauts. This will become relevant later. It's November 26, 1988, and Krikalev's first spaceflight expedition commenced. During the expedition, on board the Mir station, Krikalev would often speak with amateur radio operators across the globe, as this was a hobby of his. Somewhere along the line, he would start having frequent conversations with a radio operator from America. Margaret Lequento was a school teacher and a radio enthusiast with whom Krikalev created a lengthy relationship. They communicated not only about personal matters, but also about political ones. Lequento would even relay uncensored Western news towards the cosmonauts on the station, like information regarding the state of collapse of the Soviet Union. After a successful first expedition, Krikalev was selected to return back to the Mir station. This time, he would be the only representative of the Soviet Union on board the station together with a German astronaut. While flying towards the Mir on May 18, 1991, he couldn't have known that he wouldn't take another breath of fresh air for well over 300 days, and that the next time he sets foot on the ground, his hometown will have a different name and be located in a different country. In space, he will become the last remaining citizen of a country that doesn't exist anymore. Even at 350 kilometers above the Earth, Krikalev must have been aware of the events happening in his home country down on Earth. If he got the news from his own space agency or through Lequento is not certain, but it couldn't have been reassuring news for him to hear that his country had fallen apart. Because of the Soviet Union's collapse, both the launch and landing areas were suddenly located in the newly formed independent Kazakhstan. When the date of Krikalev's return flight approached, Mission Control on the ground told him that there was no money to bring him back, and he was asked to stay. To return an astronaut from the Mir space station, a new rocket with a new re-entry capsule needed to be sent up first. For a new rocket launch to be funded, with which Krikalev could return home, seats on the Soyuz rocket were being sold to other countries, like Austria and Japan. When astronauts from these countries arrived at the Mir station, crew members that were still on the Mir could return home to Earth. But since Krikalev was the only flight engineer on the station, he had to stay. Because if he would return to Earth, that would mean the end of the Mir station since there was no flight engineer to look after it. Finally, on March 25, 1992, Krikalev returned to Earth after being replaced by a German flight engineer, after Germany paid $24 million to purchase a seat on the Soyuz. After an expedition that lasted more than double its initial duration, Krikalev finally returned to Earth. Wearing a red flag on his spacesuit, the last remaining astronaut of the Soviet Union, nicknamed the Forgotten Astronaut, was finally and safely returned from space.